Hello, you perineum clamps. Jim Sterling here, and this is Vaccine, you bastard! Oh yeah, I haven't fucking forgotten Vaccine, don't you fucking worry about it. If you're one of the 10 people that read my website, you'll know that I reviewed this a few weeks ago, and I gave it, like, a really low score. I think like a 2, and it deserved it. Would have been a 1 if it had been just a bit more offensive. Which it wasn't. It wasn't offensively awful, it was just fucking bad. But still shit and awful, and sorry, that was just my character struggling with the concept of a door. You get 1 XP every time you open a door, which seems silly, until you remember that half the time these characters really fail to line up with the door and recognize it as a door for a moment or two before actually opening the fucking thing. That was just me using the game's shit-awful menu to equip a knife. This game being a quote-unquote roguelike, or a roguelike-like, you have to do that every time. Every time the game starts, you move to the knife, pick up the knife, navigate a shit menu to equip the knife, then engage in this awful combat sequence until you die, which you will die the moment you encounter the 4-legged zombie dog monster thing, the knockoff licker, which I think is designed to just kill you and then end the game. You've got half an hour to rescue your person who is dying of some sort of plague, and you apparently need a vaccine, which is generally, unless you're doing vaccination therapy, is generally a preventative measure, not a cure. You should be looking for a cure for whatever it is that person on the shaky bed's problem is, but instead you're trying to vaccinate, which is kind of, you know, bolting the door after the horse has fucked the sheep. So here we are, just walking down some, you know, procedurally placed corridors. That's really the word for it, not procedurally generated, because they are pre-done, but they're placed procedurally in a random order. And there are, you know, there's a silver door and a gold door and a silver key and a gold key, and you find those. If you're lucky, you might find a gun like we saw there, although the guns are shit. Unless you've got a lot of distance and you want to waste a lot of bullets. The knife is more efficient, but the combat's so fucking bad. I mean, we're going to see some more of it, some more hand-to-hand combat, which involves slashing twice. Usually you can get 2 slashes in, then you walk back a little bit, 2 more, back a little bit, and that can go, you know, you do that 2 times like we saw there, you can do it 3 times, sometimes if the game decides. Sometimes the zombies will just grab you for, as far as I can tell, no reason. They will just grab on you and that'll be that. But we are about to come to the end of this run. You don't last, or at least I certainly never lasted very long in Vaccine, because I kept coming across this little shit. Just look at the amount of damage it does, the speed with which it does the damage, the amount of damage it's taking, and the fact that it loves to back you into corners, because it can move that fast and it's constantly pushing you back. Most, in fact, I want to say almost every death, if not every death in this game ended with me backed into a corner, being mullered by a thing I literally could not win the battle of attrition with. It simply could take more damage than I could, and was dealing way more than I could take. So here we are again. The game starts in exactly the same fucking way. There's the person just gyrating like you would not believe on that bed. Certainly having a lot of fun, it seems. I mean, I wouldn't hurry to get the vaccine. They seem to be enjoying themselves just fine. We're now playing Manuel GP, which is that character's name, to do more or less the same thing. As you see, different door this time, just being attacked by something we can't see. That's something the game also likes to do. There is a little thing down there. I'm handling it wrong. What I really should have done is backed away from the bed and... Oh, right. It's actually quite funny. I'm going to leave that in. Yeah, that was one of my just, oh, fuck this runs. I meant to just keep pure gameplay runs, but you know what? I'm happy with keeping that in, because that was a bullshit way to start a run. So anyway, after I rage quit, start again, and as you can see, the exact same thing. Walk to the knife, slowly pick up the knife, go to this awful menu that doesn't really give you a clue as to where you are in the menu. The visual cues it gives as to your placement in that menu, really bad. So these are NPCs that just talk to themselves. You can kill them if you want. You can get a little bit of XP for it. I don't know if there's some greater significance to it. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't fucking care. Oh, by the way, first of all, don't worry. This is on Steam. Don't you panic. You can get this game immediately. But this is another one of those games that inexplicably found its way to the PlayStation 4, along with Life of Black Tiger and what was that other one? Gashdwin Sky Range Gashdwin 2, I think it was called, and some other shit. Don't worry. There's some more indescribable awfulness on the PlayStation Store right now. Quite why and how, I still don't know. I've been wanting to do a Jimquisition on the topic, but no one at Sony will talk to me about this. It's a fairly simple question. I just want to know why. And even if they don't want to answer why games like Life of Black Tiger and Vaccine and Gashdwin and that fucking horse racing game are on the PSN, which, by the way, is perfectly, you know, it's their storefront. They can put what they want on it. I'm not saying, you know, I'm not telling them how to do their job. In the same way I wouldn't tell... Actually, I do tell Valve how to do its job, don't I? Okay, I am telling Sony how to do its job. Games like these are fucking awful and are probably just better off on itch.io, where they are... You know, where they can be the early stumblings of someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Not that that's the only thing that's on itch.io, of course. There's some wonderful games on itch.io, and... I'm trying to find a new way to cover itch.io as well, because itch.io Tasty, I'm not feeling it anymore, but I wanna still find gold on itch.io. But anyway, basically, I want to know why. I want to know the whys and hows. From a pure interest perspective, are developers just offering these games to Sony and they're just saying yes? What's the approval process? I think these are reasonable questions to ask, and I think it speaks volumes about the state of the game industry and the inability for basic journalism to happen in games media, and why the term game journalist is so often fallacious when it's so rare, because it's so rare that it happens, actual journalism, because the industry at its own leisure and discretion can be so tight-lipped, and Sony can't even answer a basic, or won't answer a basic question like that. Let alone anything truly juicy. I'm not asking for juicy goss, I'm asking for basic practices. And if they still won't answer that, my second question I felt was even more reasonable, which was, what makes your selection process when you decide what games to advertise on your YouTube channel? Now, Vaccine, I believe, is... Sorry, I just felt like saying Vaccine in a really silly voice. Vaccine, I believe, is not being advertised on Sony's official PlayStation YouTube account, but Life of Black Tiger and Skylight, Gashdwin, whatever it was, Free Range, Sky Range, whatever, Free Range Chicken Egg, awful, shitty Mass Effect made by a bizarre weirdo, they are on Sony's official channel, essentially endorsed and being advertised by Sony, by the PlayStation brand, and I just want to know why. So I'm just curious about those things, and I could just do a Jimquisition that's like, look at this shit on the PlayStation Network, but first of all, I'm just gonna die, you know, and just watch this happen. This is how, again, I think, apart from the ones I rage quit, every run ended was like that, and I don't know, I've tried shooting it, I've tried knifing it, I've tried running from it. You know, I tried the old survival horror trick of just run away from the fucking thing. But it's so fast. And in my experience, eventually, it just finds you in a corner and tears you apart. This game's fucking shite. But you can buy it on Steam or PSN for not an insignificant amount of money. But what really makes this tragic for me is, you know, I like procedurally placed games. I like roguelites. Let's just use all the made-up terms. I like all that stuff. And you know me, I love a good horror game. Love survival horror. Silent Hill 2, favourite game of all time. Love it. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Love all spooky things. So this should be a game I adore. Like, you take the kind of procedural roguelite elements of The Binding of Isaac, which many people know I'm obsessed with, and add in this sort of 90s aesthetic, quite a convincing aesthetic of a Resident Evil style game, and put them two together, you should have genius. Instead, they just did it so badly, it's a fucking... I mean, look at the way that zombie died. Look at it, it's just lying there, just, oh, hey, I'm just having a little bit of a lie down. I've made a puddle on the floor, but that's fine, it's an old house, there's a lot of stains on this. It's wooden flooring, it soaks in, you drop wine, you drop orange Fanta, anything could happen. That's enough of that comedy sketch character. There will be no more from that person. If you're wondering why I'm slashing at windows, it's because it does the old Resident Evil trick, except not scary like Resident Evil's old dog through the window jump scare. Bats sometimes quietly smash through the windows. This is, I guess, a kind of puzzle. Watch me solve it. If you're wondering how I know the solution to this puzzle, I don't. I don't know what that was. But every now and then while playing Vaccine, you'll run across it, and that happens. Whatever. So I'm being attacked from under the bed again by more fucking bullshit. Let's just stab at that. Stab at a rat. Why not? Alright. That was just a zombie just falling through the bed. Because they lose all solidity when they die. Couple of games have tried this. There's a game, what was it? Was it called? Is it called Back in 1998? Something like that. And there's another one as well. There are now currently, to my knowledge, sorry, this is what I was saying about earlier, where sometimes the zombies just grab up you. I think, to my knowledge, there are 3 games that have gone for this sort of 96 to 99 style PlayStation 1, PSX survival horror look. And so far, I don't think... I think one of them had some promise, but still had a lot of work to do. They're just not all that great. I mean, let's be honest here. The PSX was... like, it kickstarted some bold game ideas, but it wasn't a red letter day for game visuals. Let's say that much. Some great gameplay out there, but in terms of 3D graphics, I just don't think it's a style worth emulating. 16-bit, even 8-bit, I get it. This, I mean, yeah, I get some nostalgia from it, but honestly, I think I'd rather a game just look better than stylistically go for the PSX thing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm about to die again because I'm guessing that skinless dog thing. I didn't check what kills me here, but we're nearly dead anyway. You don't get much health, by the way. And health pickups, few and far between. And when you do use them, the amount of health they give up, I think even a large med pack can't fully heal you after being assaulted by one zombie. And there we are, just another death. Fuck this game. Now watch a glitch.